everyone, Charity Preston here from Organized Classroom. More effectiveness and less stress for your classroom. I hope you are having an awesome week so far. And today I thought it would be fun to we talk about classroom management a lot, right? You know those years when you just have crazy kids in your classroom. They're awesome, all kids are awesome, we know that. But sometimes it takes a little bit more to get through to them that it's not a big game, right? If you're here to learn, you're not helping others to learn when you're acting crazy. And it really becomes a struggle sometimes, even if you have sometimes the best parent involvement. Sometimes those kids just take a life of their own, that's for sure. And something that I have found that has worked in the past for me, I don't know if it'll work for you. Every student, every classroom is different. The way they interact with one another, all those interactions are going to be different, right? But something that has worked for me that maybe if you're at your wit's end, you're willing to try just about anything, was something that worked for one of my most challenging third grade students ever. I had a boy, we'll just call him G, and G basically refused to do anything. G even fell asleep during, yes, the state standardized tests. But he was very, very bright, and I knew that he was bright. He was just having troubles coming to grips with the fact that he was bright, I think. He wasn't sure how to react like that because he had always been the troublemaker or the goofball or the one who just didn't listen, and he really wanted a lot of attention, and not in a good way. So I decided, let's try to give him some attention, right? And let's do it in a good way so he realizes that he can be part of our classroom team. So this is what I did. He was part of the group, and every time that G did something awesome, I would say, you know what? G did exactly what I wanted him to. Let's give him a round of applause. And everybody would, yay, yay for G. And they got to the point where the other students were really cheering him on, and they wanted him to succeed as much as I wanted him to succeed. And suddenly he realized maybe it's a good thing if I'm staying on task, if I'm doing what I need to be doing. And it came down to some basic peer pressure. So if we were in the hallway walking and G decided just to do his own thing or talking, whatever, you know how that goes. And the other students got to the point where they were like, hey, G, come on, you can do this. I know that you can stand in line here quietly. Let's get down this hall. Because my class knew if they were talking, whenever we were headed to a special, then guess what? We turned around and we walked back to our classroom, and we turned around until we got ready again, and then we would walk back. Sometimes it would take 4 and 5 times if G was just acting silly. He just really wanted that attention, and he wanted to know he was in control. So guess what? We went back and started it over again. Well, after a couple of times of that, the students, they really wanted to get their special. They enjoy specials. So they would say, G, quit, let's do this. You can do this. And so they were his biggest cheerleaders, even more than I was. And that made a huge difference in G's behavior. And I really, really found that it was super effective, something I had never considered trying before. And maybe it won't work for all of your students. Maybe it'll work for one of your students, but really cheer them on and let the class know, hey, let's have a talk about this. G has been having some issues. We've been a little off task. It got to the point where his immediate team, that he sat next to, they were so irritated because they would never get any recognition. So it came to the point where they were like, gee, come on, we need to do this. And so even for the smallest things that he was doing well, just staying on task and not saying a word for 30 seconds, I was going to acknowledge it like that. And of course, I eventually ended up bringing out the time and the expectations. But when you first start with something so small. He's breathing today, yay! Be really excited about it. and make sure that the rest of the class is on board as well. Because you could do it as, hey, if G can get through this day with only 3 warnings today, everybody gets a bonus point or extra computer time or 5 minutes of extra recess, or you get to eat lunch with me in the classroom. Whatever, figure out something that works for you, but you're doing it as a team, so everyone needs to be invested in that process. Okay, so good luck. I would love to hear how that strategy is, or maybe isn't, working for you and your students. Feel free to drop us a line at the blog at organizedclassroom.com. Visit us on Facebook, our YouTube channel. You can find us pretty much everywhere. We would love to hear from you, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Okay, bye.